street. Two souls collide, it wasn't meant to meet. We started talking, trading tales of where we've been. Then she froze and whispered, I've seen you in my sleep. She said you walked through my door 1,000 nights. A shadow turned to flesh beneath the morning light. I didn't understand the weight behind her stare, but something in the air said I was meant to be there. She dreamed of a stranger when the storm came down. When the anchors broke and she began to drown. She caught into the darkness, reached out for a hand, and I appeared like footprints in her sand. A stranger in her dreams. Not everything's as it seems. Sometimes fate's got twisted seams. I was a stranger in her dreams. She told me how the ground gave way one night, how the ones who swore forever fled from sight. She built a wall from broken glass and shame, let someone careless in, then carried all the blame. A seed was planted in the wreckage and the rain. She bound herself to someone who brought more of the same. The seasons changed, the vows dissolved like smoke, and even a small blessing when her name done broke. Empty hands in empty rooms, scars that bloom beneath the moon. She reached for silence, reached for a release, until she fell down and begged for peace. She dreamed of a stranger when the storm came down. When the anchors broke and she began to drown. She caught into the darkness, reached out for a hand, and I appeared like footprints in her sand. A stranger in her dreams. Not everything's as it seems. Sometimes fate's got twisted seams. I was the stranger in her dreams. She showed me rivers carved into her skin, maps of all the battles she fought within. But then she told me how she learned to pray, asked the heavens for a compass for the way. And every night I think I would appear, walking through the door, dissolving fear. When our paths crossed underneath the city sky, she recognized the answer to her cry. 2 years I spent helping tender garden grow. Taught her how to name the things she didn't know. Showed her how to hold what she'd been holding at arm's length. Found a solid ground and gave her back her strength. I offered words like water to the root, helped her find her branches, helped her find her truth. But somewhere in the season, something changed its shape. The gardener became the fool she tried to chase. I was the stranger when the storm came down, helped her build a lighthouse in a drowning town. She asked for guidance, I became her flame. But fire changes everything it claims. The stranger from her dreams. Not everything's as it seems. Hunger tore apart the seams. I was the stranger in her dreams. She started looking at me through a different lens. The compass in her hand became the thing she'd been. What bloomed was something sacred, turned to harm, and I knew distance was the only thing to charm. Sometimes the medicine can become the cure. Sometimes leaving is the only way to stay pure. I hope she keeps the garden tended well, holds her blessing close, and learns to stand herself. was the stranger in her dreams. I was the stranger in her dreams. I was the stranger in her dreams. Life ain't always what it seems. Some threads unravel at the seams. I'll stay the stranger in her dreams. Stranger